My name is Jackie Brown, and my journey begins with faith.
Homelessness was never an issue the Brown family believed they would have to face. Life was good for the family of four, as they had recently moved from Colorado to Texas. After 10 years in the United States Air Force, James had spent 20 years working for the U.S. Postal Service, and he had chosen to relocate his family in order to fill a transfer position available in Texas. After the move, things began to go downhill.
The transfer with the Postal Service was denied, and for 9 months we went without work. We tried to find work, but had no success. It was a very tough time, and things got even worse when our 15-year-old daughter Hannah was diagnosed with scoliosis. The disease was progressing rapidly, and we were forced to return to Colorado to get Hannah into Children's Hospital.
By fall 2009, the family was back on their feet in Colorado. Both Jackie and James were working when the family was hit with more shocking news. Hannah would require major back surgery by the first of the year. As the family prepared for Hannah's surgery, James was laid off and Jackie became responsible for the majority of the family's income. Immediately after, Jackie was also laid off, and the family of four was forced to live off of only $717 a month, the amount of James's disability payment through the Department of Veteran Affairs.
Our primary focus at the time was Hannah. By January of 2010, we had to return to Children's Hospital for her major back surgery. I remember overhearing Hannah speaking with her father. "Why does this have to happen to me?" James responded with tears in his eyes. "God knows why, and He has a plan." I'll never forget sitting in the waiting room of the hospital feeling sad and overwhelmed when a young girl, maybe between 8 and 9, in a wheelchair passed me by. She had patches of hair growing back that I assume she had been going through chemotherapy. I don't know her story, and I don't know what all she had been through. But just watching her really put things into perspective. Everything happens for a reason, and I do know that God has a plan.
Although the surgery was a success, it left Hannah with dozens of metal rods and screws in her spine. In addition, the family had been evicted and was currently living with the pastor of their church. After 77 days, they were forced to move, and from that point on, it was a daily struggle to keep a roof over their heads.
Over the next year, James went through multiple jobs and stints of unemployment. We lived in hotels and motels. We also lived with friends, and eventually we had to go to Samaritan House.
Samaritan House, located in downtown Denver, is designed to accommodate homeless men, women, and families with shelter, food, case management, and referrals. The Brown family had to win a lottery to obtain a spot, but Samaritan House was one of few shelters offering the opportunity for the entire family to stay together.
Being homeless, there really isn't a lot of things that you are in control of. However, it was important to me that two things remain constant in our lives. One, we will always be dependent upon the power of prayer and be grateful for what we have. And two, always keep the lines of communication open.
Due to the rough time we were having, us coming together and praying every morning and communicating daily brought us closer together.
Hannah and her younger brother, James III, were both in high school, and throughout this period, they were able to not only keep good grades, but they also kept a positive attitude. Their mother exemplified the perfect role model as she maintained her grades while in school to be a dialysis technician throughout this same period.
We spent 3.5 weeks at Samaritan House, and then our prayers was finally answered. With the support of our caseworker, Cynthia, she's an amazing woman. She connected us with a man by the name of Mr. Matthews. After learning of our family situation, Mr. Matthews opened up his heart, and he's very kind to pay for us a full month at a local apartment complex. That was very nice.
Although the Brown family has never met Mr. Matthews, his kindness was just what the family needed to help change the direction of their lives.
My first interaction with the Brown family occurred December 9, 2011. They had been referred to the Family Tree Military Family Assistance Program through the Veteran Affairs Supportive Housing, or VASH.
VASH is a HUD-sponsored program that combines rental assistance for homeless veterans with case management and clinical services provided by the VA.
The Browns had been on the VASH waiting list for over a year, and a house was finally available. However, in order to secure the home, the Browns had to pay a rental deposit, which they didn't have.
Family Tree Military Family Assistance Program was able to not only supply the deposit money, but also help the family with funds to keep their car from being repossessed. In addition, the program supported the family with money for their kids' clothes and basic household items.
By Christmas of 2011, we were in our home.
We didn't have much for our holiday celebration, but Sherry was able to give us gift cards for Christmas gifts and food.
Jackie is truly amazing. She has raised two wonderful, intelligent, courteous, and courageous children. Jackie supported her husband through a number of ups and downs that could have been a struggle for any marriage, and kept her family strong through almost an entire year of homelessness. And to top it off, on January 16th, Jackie graduated with a certificate as a dialysis technician.
Today, the Brown family takes nothing for granted. Hannah is focused on getting her diploma in December and then off to fashion design school. James III is still maintaining good grades and staying busy with sports and extracurricular activities. James recently applied for a position with Miller Coors and is very hopeful. And Jackie is beginning her clinical hours in preparation for the state board exam.
Someone recently asked me if I had a chance to change anything, my experience, my situation. Of course, I would love to change my situation, but the experience, no. I would never want to change the experience because I learned a lot. I learned humility. I learned God's grace, and I learned how to not judge others, and I learned how to be me and be real with others. So I really thank God for the experience. Had I not gone through the experience, I would have not learned and overcome like I have today. My name is Jackie Brown, and I am so grateful for Family Tree. They were there for us, and they had our backs. And for that, I'm grateful. Thank you, Family Tree.